So for the first pick, the Detroit Pistons select, and I'm sending it over to you. Who do they take with the number one overall pick?
Zachary Rishache. Did I say that right?
That's how I say it. So
That's
yes,
how
you
you
did.
say it. I'm gonna take him with the roster we have at hand. You flip open a book, you see the script. This is who's on our team. No changes whatsoever. No free agent signings. No trades. No nothing. With the team that we have right here at hand, Zachary Rishache is the best fit for this Detroit Pistons team. I would take him number one overall just for the fit. There's a lot of talk probably about the Alexander Sarr, which he's maybe the best prospect for this draft. I totally get it. But if we're running with what we have with Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart and all the pieces we have, I think Zachary Rishache is the best fit at number one for Detroit.
Okay, but what makes him the best fit at number one for the Detroit Pistons? Give me a little something about his game.
I like his ball handling. I watched a little
Okay.
bit of his clips. I like the way that he can kind of create space for himself. I like that he makes an open shot. He's got a slower kind of release to his shot. I know that we didn't get to really. I don't think I wasn't here yet to discuss him on the pod about his talents and what we liked and if ands or buts about him. But from the clips that I saw about him, I think he has a lot of up value to him in this draft. I think that the Pistons would value a lot out of his skill set for this team.
He does make solid decisions with the ball, and even if he doesn't develop as a scorer, you can see him being a real connective piece on this team. I'm going to go in a different direction with the first pick. I'm actually taking Alex Sarr. And because I feel like this is a chance for the Pistons to pair Evan Mobley with Cade Cunningham. And I don't mean by trading anybody, but I'm just saying Alex Sarr, when you watch him play defensively, you look at his body, he does remind me a little bit of Evan Mobley. I don't know if he'll be making top 3 defensive player of the year in year 2 like Evan Mobley did, but that defensive potential is absolutely through the roof. He's not breaking Victor Wembanyama's ceiling, but it still is very much through the roof. And he's a guy that can play drop or he can switch. He's very mobile and flexible. He's nimble. You feel comfortable with him switching on smaller guys and just making things difficult for them. You combine his defense and Cade's ability to elevate big man's games, you got a solid player playing for your team for 10 years. Even if his offensive game doesn't develop, I don't care. Just as long as the defensive game comes over from Perth, I would love that with Alex Sarr at number one. But number two, the Detroit Pistons are selecting who, and you are on the clock.
Number two, it was really a tough select for me for one and two because Alexander Sarr is my number two. He you can't pass
Okay.
up on him if he's available. He's a very good player. You literally just listed off everything that I was going to say about him. He plays his part well. He knows his role. He's a very good very skilled big man. And can play his position very well. So Alex Sarr would be my number two pick. I kind of had a feeling you were going to go with Alexander Sarr at number one. Kind of why part of the reason why I slipped for Zach to go for my number one. I don't have any downsides really about either of those players. I just think Maurice Shea is a better fit at the moment, but Sarr is my number two.
So number two, I have Zachary Richichet, the 6'8" wings. So
Yeah.
same thing, dude. Just like can push the ball after getting a defensive rebound. Out. Showed this year that a diverse set of shooting, whether it was backpedaling, moving without the ball. I really like him at number two. I said it when you were talking about one. It's just because of his quick decisions with the ball, and I can see him being a connective piece for the Pistons and just being an outlet for Cade or Jaden Ivey. And again, even if like the shot creation, meaning like he's going to make defenders dance with him, even if that doesn't come along and that part of his game doesn't develop, I think he'd be very solid. Like I like his floor, basically, is what I'm getting at number two. But at number three, who are you taking?
Number three, I am looking at a score, and I was here for the pod, for the videos, for this guy. I really raved about him, and I'm still going to keep raving about him. Is my Kentucky guard Reed Shepard? I think Reed
Okay.
Shepard would be you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. I have a weird sense with this guy that he could be something special in the league with his shooting capability and his size and length at the shooting guard position. So number 3, I take Reed Shepherd out of Kentucky.
It's funny because I'm actually taking a Kentucky guard at number 3, but I'm going Rob Dillingham at
Yeah.
number 3. Just because, again, you can't go wrong with a Kentucky guard. Whether it's Reed Shepherd or Rob Dillingham, they both have a skill set that fits with the Pistons. Reed Shepherd being able to shoot the ball like just just crazy efficient from everywhere on the floor. He's amazing. But Rob Dillingham, it's just the ability to break down a defense, to be able to play off the ball. There's not a lot of star power. I'm going for the guy that can just fill it up and will probably be the best scorer out of this draft class if everything works out. So that's why I'm taking Rob Dillingham at number 3. But at number 4, who are you taking?
Kyle Filipowski out of Duke.
Ooh,
Kyle Filipowski. I
reaching.
know that we took some hate on the internet for this guy talking
We
about him
did.
joining
We
the
did.
Pistons, which I didn't really understand because it's more of just a topic of conversation with these guys coming into a draft. You don't know what these guys are going to really bring to the table until you put them on the roster. So you don't know how well he can actually fit with the roster that we have right now. But when it comes to talent, you can't turn down a Kyle Filipowski. You really can't. He brings out all the essentials for a big man that you kind of need in the league right now. He can spread the floor just a little bit on you. His three-point shooting is a little lackluster, but it can still come into play. I mean, you have these guys develop at different rates. We never thought Jalen Duren was going to be what he was. We had an idea, but we didn't know that he was actually going to really perform into the person that he ended up being. So at number 4, with his upside, I'd take Kyle Filipowski.
Real quick before I get into my number 4, I do think it's hilarious that you actually found that comment on Instagram because I thought it was pretty funny when I read it, and it was hidden to me. I did not get the notification, so that's why
I had to click on it. I had to
just don't
click
take
on
it
it.
personal, dude.
No.
Yeah, but was there just a small piece of you thinking like, all right, this is going to be like a bot, and they're going to say, go check out my OnlyFans? Is that what you were thinking when the
I
hidden
mean,
comment was there?
I
A little
wasn't going
bit,
to click
yeah.
on it, but you can just take a peek at it. But then, you click on it, and you got roasted a little bit for talking about a dude from Duke. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Everything is speculation with these drafts, man. You don't know what you're going to get out of these players. We could get
100%.
another. You could draft Filipowski at 4, 5, 6, 7, and he could be a Darko. We don't know this. We don't know what kind of puzzle piece is going to fit in the puzzle that is not even close to being put together of the Detroit Pistons. So who knows? But no, the comment was great, and I love it. Just keep sending them, man. I'm all about listening to it. I'll read whatever you got to say to me.
Awesome, no problem. At number 4, I'm taking it's a toss-up between these 2 players, and it's Cody Williams or Ron Holland. I love Cody Williams out of Colorado. I do like Ron Holland from the G League Unite. Both offer two-way potential. Both can create offense. Both have that effort and hustle defensively, but both struggle from the outside when it comes to shooting the ball. And that's the biggest what if to their games. I think if I had to choose between the two, I lean more Cody Williams than I do Ron Holland, but I'm a fan of both. So I would go Ron Hollands with the 4th pick. But at number 5, who are you taking?
Man, I do like Ron Holland. I really do like him. But for my number 5, I'm going to go with a little bit of experience. And we had this conversation about this guy that we were a little unsure bringing somebody from college, being as older as he is, but with
Yep.
his maturity from his game, I did like it a lot. And it's a man out of Tennessee, Dalton Connect. I really did like his game. I thought the way that he controlled himself going to the basket, how he shot the ball, and how he kind of created space with a shot, I really did see an NBA vibe with him. So I'm going to run with him at my number 5.
I do actually like that pick, Dalton Connect. His game has grown on me, but still being older, it'd be hard for me to take him in the top 5. But I do like the reasons you're picking Dalton Connect. But number 5 for me, I'm going a big man. I'm going for the defensive potential, and that's Donovan Cleon out of UConn. I have to go with him. Like, I feel like if the Pistons were going to trade one of the young guys, whether it was Jalen Duren or Jaden Ivey, you're probably getting more back for Jalen Duren just because of what he has done in the NBA. And I think if you do trade him and you went into the draft and you drafted Donovan Cleon, again, the defensive potential is just too much for me to pass up at 5. But also the way Cade elevates big man's games, I'm not worried about it. I think he would still be able to give you some of that Jalen Duren on the offensive end as a lob threat and a guy that can just catch a pass and finish around the rim. That's why I'm taking Donovan Cleon at number 5.
I also do really like him. I like him a lot coming out of UConn. UConn is a very successful program. I
Yep.
enjoy watching guys that can grow so well where they're at and see how much success they have just on a team before they move into the league. I wanted to put him in my top 5. I really did, but I also he was my flip-flop with Reed Shepard. I was thinking score, or was I thinking defense? If I'm thinking that the Pistons are going to trade and kind of rebuild again with our 4 and 5, I wasn't really sure of how I wanted to run with it, but I do like he would be a wonderful fall for a number 5 pick.